How we doing, YouTube? Stevie here. It is Friday, November 10th, and I have not turned a wheel all week of profit. I'm setting up now up here at the Mr. Fuel in Lake Station. Getting ready to get a truck wash. I just came from next door, the Boss Man shop. Got my oil changed. It was due for a service, so I'm gonna get that done. But it's all started, the catastrophe all started last Sunday. I packed everything up. I usually leave on Sunday afternoon. Packed everything up, truck's all ready to go. Checked everything. Started it up to go. And it had immediately the D-rate light in 2 hours came on. 3 hours. It said 3 hours. So holy Moses, this is no good. I had a trailer. I didn't have it at my house. It was a truck stop a couple miles from my house. A loaded trailer that I needed to take to Markham Sunday night and then pick up my Evansville trailer. So I said, what the heck? I said, well, I got 3 hours. It says I'm going to run that trailer up and drop it off, so they'll have it for Monday, and then I'll go. I'll stop somewhere up here around Northwest Indiana and get this truck looked at, see what the deal is. Well, I went to pick up that trailer, and it wouldn't even run. The truck wouldn't run a mile an hour down the highway. So luckily, I was able to get out from underneath the trailer right there at the same truck stop, and where I left the trailer, and limped it home. It started running again before I got home. It ran at full regular speed, but it still had that light on, that D-rate light. So I got it home and put it on my handheld computer, you know, that reads the codes and deletes them for you, allegedly. I learned something about that machine. It only will let you delete a non-active code. So if the code is active, you can't delete it. Well, that was half the reason of getting it, I thought. But anyway, so I put it on there, and it said it had a crankcase pressure switch was reading fault or no reading, low voltage or no reading. I can't remember which it said. It said two things. I said, holy Moses. So I Googled it, and then YouTubed it, and it wasn't a federal case, didn't look like. It's right up there on the top on the front of the engine on the left-hand side. And so Monday morning I got up, and I changed that. And luckily I took that old one to Peterbilt. There's a core charge on them stupid things. Can you believe it? Stupid little sensor about that big. And they had a core charge on it. I can't remember how much it was. I'm going to go live tonight. I'll have all my bills in front of me tonight. Like $100 and some bucks, something like that. And when I Googled it, it said, oh yeah, that'll make a D-rate. That's exactly what it'll say on that screen when that happens. I thought, okay. So I fixed that. So should have her captured. No, not captured. Now it's saying, and when I was going to bring it home, I was trying to bring it home, it smoked like crazy one time. It was smoking like you was fogging for mosquitoes. And now it's saying that it's got a turbo actuator is bad. Well, I knew where the actuator was at, but I'd never changed one of them before. So my local shop that I use is not very far from my house. So I drove over and asked them about it, and they said, oh yeah, if that happens, that's what it'll do. And but the two things aren't related. The pressure switch and the turbo is not related. But they said the bad thing is that actuator, there's a little thing it turns that moves that turbo that adjusts your boost. That's what adjusts the boosts on these trucks. And they said the problem is sometimes those turbos go bad. That little spool in there. You got my new turbo. I was like, oh my mo, what the heck? The actuator, their price, I didn't get their discount for some reason. Peterbilt gave me the business on that a little bit. But the actuator was $1,600. And they said, we won't know till we take it off if you need the turbo or the turbo and the actuator both. Well, thank God it was just the actuator, because the new turbo for this thing is about $7,000. Now, granted, that comes with the actuator, but long story long, about $7,000 to put a new turbo on this old Cummins, and but I didn't need that. I just needed the actuator, so I was only $1,600. And they had one in stock, but that's another day down. So I'm down Monday, Tuesday. I think that's right. Yeah. So they put it all back together. I get it. They put it all back together. Not till the next afternoon. This would have been Wednesday afternoon, I guess. Wednesday morning. And they said, it's still throwing that code. It's still got the D-rate light on. What the heck? It's saying it's the, what was it? There's a, whatever sense is on top of the DEF system, there's this gizmo that measures the pressure on each side of the DEF system, and it was that thing. It's showing it was bad. So I called them up. They didn't need a core for that. They needed a core for the actuator though, but they didn't need a core for that. So I go back to Peterbilt, and it's always bad if Peterbilt knows, the parts counter knows you by name, and they know me by name now. I got that thing, and that they thought it was, and it was that was like $180, something like that, 160. They said, yeah, they go bad all the time. Peterbilt said that. Then put it back together. No, that didn't fix it. It won't let it. It says the DEF system's plugged, and won't let it regen. So for $450, you can get them filters baked and cleaned, but it's about, Peterbilt charges you 8 hours of labor at $195 an hour. My shop was a little bit less than that, but they said, let us try this other thing before we do that. So they took a part of it apart and got a vacuum, and they said there was all kinds of junk in there, And they've done this before where they clean all that out that they can get to with a vacuum, big hard vacuum, and they said, and they put it back in. So a lot of times they'll let it regen then, and they did. It let it regen, and she's running like a new one now, but it didn't get fixed until, well, really late, like yesterday afternoon. So I ended up not being able to book a load for today, Friday, and I didn't have a ride to go get it until today anyway. Even though it's not very far from my house, about 6 miles, it's farther than I wanted to walk. So I went and got it and drove it home, and it was looking good. And I said, you know what? I need to get oil changed. I need to get it washed. So that's what I did. I drove it up here to Lake Station, which is about an hour from my house, not quite. And we got her, getting her washed, and I'm waiting in line now. It's busy like crazy. But we're looking good other than that, I hope. And then we got a load for Monday. It's not in the yard yet, but I'll go pick it up probably Sunday. So we are looking good. But like I said, I think I'll go live tonight and give you guys all the price updates on everything. But God bless everybody. We'll talk in soon.